Entire Tastar, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kylaris, and today I'm going to be bringing you a game between EGAxlav and MasterAsia. I'm pretty sure that this is a ladder game. It may have been at Assembly Winter actually, but I'm not 100% sure. But I've been told that it's a pretty damn good game, and also I actually have a 1 hour 27 minute game of EG Grubby versus AAA Sirens. So if people want that cast, you're more than welcome to request it, but bloody hell, and I'm pretty sure people won't sit around for an hour and a half watching that game. So yeah, if you want it done, I will gladly do it, but it shall be an interesting ride, as I've never ever seen a game last that long in StarCraft 2 as of yet, apart from the crazy 4v4 games that I've played that just yeah, stupid. So we have, as I say, EGAxlav spawning down here in the bottom position, whilst MasterAsia is in the top position, and I'm quite curious to see what EGAxlav does do in this game. There's been a lot of discussion about the Void Ray Colossus 2 base build by most recently Artosis and Hydra doing their imbalanced episode 3, and they're saying that it's completely imbalanced against Zerg. I disagree to a certain extent. I think that it can be countered a lot by what possibly Mass Mutalisk, etc., as the Void Rays don't really chew through the Mutalisks too quickly, and Axlav there actually throwing down a pylon to block that expansion, so MasterAsia is going to go and throw down that spawning pool, since the delay tactic has already been utilised by EGAxlav, and now throwing down the simulator as well. Going to be throwing down a pylon anytime soon here. But yeah, back to the Void Ray Colossi kind of build thing that you use against Zerg. Granted, it is very strong if the Zerg does go for a standard build, like Roach, Hydra, Corruptor, etc. And they were discussing the possibility of using a lot of Corruptors in order to be able to deal with it. But I do think that going a lot of Mutalisks, because you're not really investing, if you're actually going this Void Ray Colossus build as Protoss, you're not really investing that much money into Stalkers, and even then Mass Mutalisks does pretty much destroy a lot of things anyway. So I think they kind of overlooked the fact that Mass Stalker is a good option. Anyway, getting back to this game, EGAxlav coming in here and being chased down by these 3 probes. I'm quite surprised that he is being chased down by these 3 probes. Oh, actually, that's a good point. He could have thrown down another pylon had he destroyed that one with this. So he is going to be coming back here, pretending, no doubt, to be doing some kind of forge play. And he's going to sit around there and wait, which is a pretty interesting idea actually. Sending out these 2 Zerglings in order to take this out, and why on earth am I lagging? Be right back. No clue why I'm lagging, doesn't matter. And throwing down a second pylon now, EGAxlav. So interesting stalling tactics here from EGAxlav, and he is just getting his warp gates out. Whoa, come on. He is getting his warp gates out pretty soon, so these pylons are going to go down pretty easily. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually did cancel this pylon, and he does indeed cancel. So at this point we have the warp gates coming out. A lot of stalling tactics gone off for this expansion here, and up to 500 minerals MasterAsia at this point, so those stalling tactics really did do a lot of damage. EGAxlav here just gearing up for what looks like a 3-gate expand. He is getting a few sentries out, but a few Zerglings coming down here are going to be trying to apply some pressure, but noticing that they actually can't get in. And M&M Nozhu has left the game. He's not particularly happy with this game, obviously. And EGAxlav at this point just kind of chilling out, as they will be going for some 3-gate expand from what I can see here. Just going to be pumping out as many sentries as possible, whilst MasterAsia is more good scouting there from Axlav, seeing that there is no Roach Warren actually going down in any of these positions, but I'm pretty sure he won't have seen down here or down there. So a hatchery going down. I suppose he did have quite a lot of extra minerals, so interesting choice making an in-base hatchery there from MasterAsia. Quite happy to see what is going to be going on with that. He's going to have a lot to be able to produce, a lot of drones or a lot of units depending on what he wants to do. Interesting choice of pylon placement here for Axlav. I personally have it here, the initial one anyway, or trying to block off down here. And have they widened this back here? I didn't actually notice that. But a lot of sentries here, going to be making a lot of kind of stall tactics for Axlav, and it does seem EGAxlav is going to be in a really good position when it comes to this actual expand. I'm really curious as to whether he does go the Void Ray Colossi build, because I love to see that against Zerg, because it's so hard to deal with. QQQ. But they have a ton of crap that is hard to deal with for us, so you know, bear that in mind, folks, bear that in mind. Forge now going down for EGAxlav, and more pylons going down, just making sure he doesn't get himself Psylocked, and nice placement of these units, just making sure that he can't get up here, creating nice chokes in order to be able to make sure that he can't run past with Zerglings. Going to be trying to do some picking action on this expansion, but it's not going to be anything too major. These units are going to be able to fend it off, no problem. And at this point, it just seems like EGAxlav's in a pretty good position, especially after delaying this expansion for so long. But he does not know about this in-base hatchery, so he could be confronted by a lot more units than he would like to initially. And we do see now MasterAsia is going to be spreading that creep pretty effectively. Double evolution chamber going down for MasterAsia here, but we do see +1 weapons going down for EGAxlav already, and maybe doing like a 6-gate +1 push or something like that. I like personally to go 5-gate +1 push, but getting a robotics facility now as well, so nice positioning of this cannon here, taking out a few of these Zerglings that were trying to come in and harass these units. And there was a lot of discussion on the Protoss strategy forums actually as to whether or not cannons were a viable option. Not viable, but cost effective in comparison to things like missile turrets, etc. But I personally think that they're fantastic. It was referring more to the fact that using them against all-ins, etc., but it doesn't really matter. Now, MasterAsia forced to make a lot of Zerglings here, 20 Zerglings on the production tab, because he does see EGAxlav moving out across, but I think this is more of a kind of scare tactic by EGAxlav at this point, forcing the production of those Zerglings instead of allowing MasterAsia to just be able to produce tons and tons of drones. So nice that little bit of pressure there by EGAxlav. Even though there was no damage done to the base, there was damage done to the potential cost effectiveness opportunity cost of MasterAsia's economy. And I worded that completely wrongly, but it was the opportunity cost. There we go. Just bear that in mind. That's better. So now an observer coming down for EGAxlav, and we do have a Spire as well as a few Spore Crawlers coming out for MasterAsia. Interesting use, interesting placement of that Spore Crawler, but the Spire is going to be well protected and not going to be seen for quite a while. Now breaking down these rocks with a lot of Zerglings. He really needs to kind of push his economy higher and higher at MasterAsia at this point, as he did invest heavily on these Zerglings during that potential push. But now these Zerglings are streaming down here, trying to catch this Zealot off guard, but a lot of units coming in here. Nice force fields. Could have, catches those beautifully with those force fields. Maybe could have caught even more. And these force fields here probably weren't that necessary, to be honest, as he could have picked those off regardless of force fields. So that observer has gone where? I imagine that 1 kill on that Spore Crawler, so that observer did get picked off by that Spore Crawler. And these rocks now going down for EGAxlav. He really needs to block this back off here so he can make sure that no Zerglings do a swing around, and he will probably be doing that anytime soon. So now quite a few Mutalisks coming out for MasterAsia, as well as more gateways coming out for EGAxlav, as well as Twilight Council, and expanding to the 2 places at once. Daring move by MasterAsia, although he feels confident enough with these Zerglings and these Mutalisks to be able to do that. Stargate now coming out for EGAxlav, and putting some pylons down in order to be able to protect this potential expansion. But now a big ball of Zerglings swinging around here trying to take this out, and he's going to be forced to cancel this part. Did he cancel that pylon? I'm not 100% sure. Throwing down a few force fields there, but nothing too amazing. And these Zerglings are going to be coming in here now. I'm not so sure that MasterAsia wanted these Zerglings to attack, as that was just completely wasted there. Strange choice of force fields there by EGAxlav, but at the same time MasterAsia is coming around this corner, trying to probably actually distract those Stalkers in at the front at this second base, in order to be able to kind of get in with these Mutalisks. And they are picking up quite a few of these Stalkers, but they're really going to need to move back as he is warping in more, and he has seen this Starport and Twilight Council, no doubt researching whilst they were there, so he is going to know that Blink or Charge is on the way. But assuming that there are so many Stalkers on the field, he's probably going to assume that Blink is indeed on the way. +2 weapons and carapace coming up for MasterAsia at this point, and EGAxlav just keeping a close eye on these Zerglings, doesn't want them to do anything too tricky. Nice use of that Observer, but we do have ground armor level 2 on the way for EGAxlav, as well as throwing down more cannons to ward away any kind of muta harass that does come along, and indeed they are swinging around for yet another attack, but these Stalkers are going to be fine in dealing with these. So nice transition from EGAxlav there, moving into the blink in order to be able to deal with these Mutalisks, but there are a lot of Mutalisks here that are going to be able to do a ton of damage, so he's going to need to run away with these and bring his main force around. But at the same time, MasterAsia coming in with a second attack with these Zerglings, going to be killing a lot of probes as well as that cannon. Although most of those Zerglings were actually focusing that cannon as opposed to the probe, so not killing too much, but at the same time these Mutalisks actually did get warded away by those cannons, so nice defense by EGAxlav. But again, another attack actually going on down here from MasterAsia, walling in with these nice force field placements. So once again, a really nice defense from EGAxlav. He did pick off this pylon here, unpowering these buildings, but still keeping on top of everything here. A lot of Chrono Boost on these Nexuses actually, or Nexi, so interesting choices. But again, it's probably a lot better to keep your probes alive than it is to actually spend that Chrono Boost. So at this point in time we have 133 out of 162 for MasterAsia, whilst the Protoss is sitting on a nice 128, keeping up and warping in a few more there to catch up. But again, it's going pretty well for EGAxlav. He's holding off these kind of harassments nicely. We do have an Infestation Pit going down for MasterAsia, but we also see a Twilight Templar Archives going down for EGAxlav. Where is that Twilight Archives? I can't see it. There it is, right in the back of the base. But a big ball of Mutalisks going to be swinging around here, picking off these pylons, trying to be as annoying as possible. These guys are going to come around here, going to be blinking maybe? No point blinking there. But a lot of Zerglings were coming out for MasterAsia, and now weapon armor level 3 coming out for the Stalkers here. And the armor transition is a fantastic way to go when you do see a lot of mutas, because it negates so much of the Zerglings and the mutas damage. So it's a good thing to note that you should really be transitioning to armor when you see Mutalisks, a lot of Mutalisks on the field, since their attacks do bounce and it negates a massive amount of their damage. So a few high Templar coming out and being morphed into Archons. Again, another great transition here, although also researching Psystorm. Big ball of Mutalisks coming around here and going to be trying to take out this as quickly as possible, taking out these cannons very fast, as there are just tons and tons here. EGAxlav at this point though having a bit of an annoying time. We do have a Zergling swing around coming into the third base of EGAxlav, but at the same time a big move in from EGAxlav coming up into this gold base, trying to take it out as quickly as possible. Nice placement from these buildings here by EGAxlav, since these Zerglings can't get full surrounds on these cannons, but at the same time Mutalisks wreaking havoc in the main, trying to take out that Nexus, and that expansion has been taken down by EGAxlav up at the top here, taking out a lot of these. Nice blink onto these, going to be almost Psylocking MasterAsia. He had a lot of, oh my god, he had so many overlords there, and killing a lot of these Zerglings with these probes. These probes are now fleeing, and these Mutalisks are going to be trying to kind of swing around in order to be able to take out this counter-attack. A nice big healthy ball of units here from EGAxlav though, and I'm not so sure that EGAxlav is going to be able to win this. I'm not sure he has enough Stalkers in order to be able to combat these Mutalisks and Zerglings. Nice blink there, taking out quite a few of those units. But if those Mutalisks do get in range of those Archons, the Archons are going to have a massive area of effect splash damage on them. And now just sending a lot of his units down here, trying to take out this second expansion of EGAxlav. And it seems like EGAxlav is just going for a base trade right here, ladies and gents. MasterAsia is completely Psylocked, but bringing out a lot of Overlords in order to be able to get out of that Psylock, whilst at the same time EGAxlav is warping in a lot of units, a few Archons here, as well as some Stalkers, going to be blinking in, no doubt, at some point, trying to take out as many of these units as possible. But EGAxlav doing a big amount of damage up in the north here. Few units idle, but it doesn't really matter, as he is doing tons and tons of damage. He has taken out two of the main bases of MasterAsia, and at the same time a lot of these units doing a massive amount of damage. And look at the amount of negated damage that this +3 armor is doing against these Mutalisks. These units would have died a hell of a lot faster had that +3 armor not been up. So it's a good thing to note about +3 armor against Mutalisks and Zerglings, but going to be able to take out this base here. And at the same time, EGAxlav is doing a massive amount of damage, taking out the hive. That is a big hit for the Zerg. And he's going to be just, again, once again, base trading. Going to be moving in. Oh my god, MasterAsia throwing down hatcheries everywhere in order to try and take out these bases as quickly as you possibly can. During this base trade, probes now coming up for Axlav as he's trying to take out all these. And the Nexi of Axlav have been taken out, so he is being revealed. Pulling back with a lot of these Mutalisks, he realizes now that this force will destroy the buildings of himself faster than all these probes now coming down in order to try and do damage to these bases. But hatcheries just everywhere for MasterAsia at this point. One zealot beating down on these hatcheries, and Axlav at this point going to be nice blink and nice guardian shield. And look at the little amount of damage that the Mutalisks actually do when there's a guardian shield up, as well as this +3 armor. 4 armor on these stalkers, ladies and gentlemen, just doing a massive amount of negation. Throwing down a lot of spine crawlers and a hatchery in his main base. Odd choice of that to do. And these these drones are now beating away at these buildings here. So now EGAxlav in a commanding position right here, as these Mutalisks can just not kill these buildings fast enough. A few zealots, Zerglings, going to be trying to beat down on these buildings, but it's not going to be enough. As Axlav just really needs to run around and try to snipe off as much of these as possible. And now EGAxlav has rebuilt his natural and is going to be in a good position to take this game, ladies and gents. This just got absolutely crazy. All these spine crawlers now uprooting and moving somewhere. Probably going to be moving. Oh, he's trying to retake his natural again. Interesting choice. But this force here, ladies and gents, is way too strong. This game really does show how important armor is against a Zerg player going Mutas and Zerglings, because the armor negation is just so huge against Mutalisks. In fact, it showed me so much that I am going to try this a lot more against these Mutas, because I sort of neglect my upgrades. And if I don't neglect my upgrades, I'm normally going for weapons instead of armor, and it just negated so much damage to the point where MasterAsia just couldn't do a thing against it. So now long distance mining here by MasterAsia, trying to get back into this game, but it really does seem like this ball is going to be able to tear up MasterAsia. And valiant effort from MasterAsia, but EGAxlav showing here that he is a class act, taking out all these creep tumors with these units and this observer, and leaving a few of his units behind to defend what little economy he does have left. And MasterAsia does indeed GG, and EGAxlav GG's out of the game as well. So thanks very much for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed the base race craziness of EGAxlav and MasterAsia, and I will see you guys next time.